everybody. Welcome along to the MODUS Super Series, where we have a Friday full of fun tungsten action here at the Live Lounge here in Portsmouth. Group C is about to reach its culmination, and we have 4 prizes at the top of the table. Chris Wickenden opened up leads in his games, but a failure to hang on to them leads Pug astray at the bottom of the pile. Decker may feel slightly disappointed with his day 1 points haul. 2 wins means there's a tall order for the Norwegian giant to progress. At the top of the table, we have 4 players locked on 6. Makua Suzuki won her first 3 matches, but 2 defeats at the end sees her in 4th. Ricky Palmer responded well to a slow start, looking to get the better of his brother Ryan in the ADC belt tomorrow. He hopes to become the first player to do the double. The wildcard Alex Small was far from the joker in the pack. 3 wins from 5 puts him well in the equation for Group C progression. Meanwhile, it is Shane McGurk, many people's fancies at the start of the week, who finds himself at the summit and in good nick to progress through to finals night. And on the subject of fun, it's always good fun to be in the company of Laura Turner once again up here on the balcony. Just quickly before we look ahead to the Group C action, just a quick point on last night in Group B, where Mike Gillett, fantastic start for him. And I wonder what the family WhatsApp groups have been saying this morning.
Yeah, all very pleased, obviously, but especially for Mike. You know, best start he's had when he's been here at MODUS, and 4 out of 4. There's not much more you can ask for.
Well, Mike Gillett's going to be a part of that Group B action. We're going to see that tonight from 10 o'clock here on Sporty Stuff TV and the MODUS Super Series YouTube channel. But our focus this afternoon is on a very tight and congested Group C. This is how the land lies as far as the table's concerned after the first day's action. 4 players, all on 6 points at the top of the pile, and it's very rare to say in a Group C that nobody's out of it. Chris Wickenden, yes, he's going to need a big day today, but if he can do that, he's got every chance of going through still. Yeah.
I mean, as we said, it's really tight, isn't it? And at the moment, it's still very difficult to call who is going to take those 2 places and get to finals night. But very interested to see how it does plan out.
In a tight table bit like that, how much do we look at the experienced players, the likes of Makua Suzuki, the likes of Shane McGurk, and look at them as possibly the players that could really make a tilt, because they know what it's like to be in these types of scenarios?
Yeah, and you know, it's longevity, it's understanding what to do in the stage, and actually having that experience to react under a bit of pressure. It's all or nothing today. You know, it's everything to play for, and they've all put themselves in a position where they can all still qualify.
They most certainly have, which will make the outright betting odds look very interesting indeed to see what they think, the odds compilers. Well, they have Alex Small out as the 7-4 favourite to go on and win the group. Shane McGurk at 15-8. Now, Makua Suzuki tied at the top of the table, but at 10-1, interestingly.
Yeah, and very interestingly, because, OK, Group A, we didn't see her at her very best, but I thought she looked so much better, so much sharper yesterday. And I think 10-1, when you're joint top at 10-1, I think that's quite an interesting price.
Most certainly is. Alex Small, the favourite at 7-4. Is that because of his performances at the end of yesterday? Had that big fish finish, that high average in that last game of the session. And he's one of those players, because he's one of the champion of champions, is so accustomed to these cutthroat matches.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it is still very tight in terms of those top 3 and outright winners. But I can understand why they've gone that way. But I just think with the table as close as it is, and you know, when you've got the pressure and you know you're going to have to win these games, it's anyone's.
It's most certainly anyone's game. And as far as the bet builder is concerned, it feels a little bit of the same as well, because you at home don't quite know where to go in certain areas. And that is why it is priced at 8.45-1. Remember, yesterday's Group C bet builder was 15-1, and that came in the handicap betting. They got Shane McGurk to get the better of Ricky Palmer, 4-2 or better at 5-4. Ryan Palmer and Alex Small to have over 1.5 on 8. So that's 2 maximums all told at even money. And again, back in the handicap stakes, Alex Small 4-2 or better victor against Chris Wickenden at 11-10. And that's not the worst 8.5-1 you'll ever see.
No, absolutely not. I think that's a really good bet. So yes, it's as I say, it's going to be interesting. But I think it's quite a good bet.
We're looking forward to this today, aren't we?
Yeah, I know. I can't wait.
Should be good fun. Well, Laura's going to make her way down to the commentary box to describe all the action in the company of Chris Murphy. Our first game of the day sees Alex Small in action against Makua Suzuki.
Yeah, indeed, Alex Small in action, but it's a big game for the pair of players on your screen right now. Small meets Suzuki in the opening encounter of what is set to be a thrilling finale to Group C on Friday here at the Super Series. Alex Small, former champion of champions winner, looking to get back to finals night on a Saturday here at the Live Lounge. He takes on the miracle Mikuru Suzuki, two-time women's world champion, looking to book her place at the big Saturday session for the first time. And an audience will be in the arena here in Portsmouth. Tickets still available via dartshop.tv. Just head there, book yourself a little night out at the darts, and you may get to see a player who
First leg,
known
Alex,
around
you
the
through
world, a
first.
referee that's well known around the world,
Game
Mr.
on.
Paul Hinks, getting proceedings underway, the first of 15 fixtures. And the way that
57.
the league table is set up, Laura, it is going to be a bit of a bumpy ride.
Yeah, I just, as I was saying to Henry, it's really, really hard to call. I do think 10-1 with Mikuru sat on 6 points. That could be panning out quite interesting. But
21.
I think for me, Mikuru, if she can make that strong start like she did yesterday, she came out, she won more games yesterday than she had in the whole
100.
of Group A, and just had a higher performance level. So if she can do the same today, yeah, she's going to cause a bit of upset there.
Yeah, if she wins her first 3 like she did yesterday, then that'll put her on to 12 points. I mean, somebody will probably go through on that amount of points.
85.
Anyone wins 4 matches, you would say they're going to go through, but somebody may go through on 12, somebody may miss out on 12.
100.
Ben McGurk and Ricky Palmer, the other 2 players on 6 points as well. So we're going to see all of those 4 players that are tied at the top of the table playing each other in the opening games, which means before
40.
Core Decker takes on Chris Wickenden, he's definitely going to be 4 points adrift. Maybe defeating that one for Decker will mean
100.
the game's up for him, really.
Yeah, it's what we like, isn't it? Those permutations, trying to work them out.
Yeah, we will keep you up to date to the best of our ability.
60.
I'll leave that one to you,
Aliocar,
Chris.
144.
144 for Alex Small to take the opening leg after a dozen darts.
43.
Well, hasn't done much with it, but Mikuru Suzuki hasn't made the strong kind of start that she would have been hoping for. She's
26.
actually made a start
Aliocar,
similar to how she played
101.
on Monday. Double 18.
65.
It's his usual leave. Alex Small loves it there. Yeah, I think people don't realise. I mean, you played in the Women's Series events at the weekend with Mikuru Suzuki. It's not even just since Monday she's been playing. She's been playing since last Saturday.
Yeah, and those women's series, they're quite
137.
intense. We do 2
Aliocar,
tournaments in a day.
36.
They can be long days as well. So yeah, she's definitely putting
Game
in a
shot on the
shift.
first leg.
As
Alex Small.
takes that double 18 for the first leg.
Yeah, not
Second
just
leg, Mikuru
the
to throw
playing, but
first.
the travelling
Game
as
on.
well, of course, for Suzuki. Does look like we may have at least one
60.
Japanese representative in the finals night tomorrow. Haruki Muramatsu had a really good night in Group B yesterday, won 3 out of his 4 matches.
41.
Not quite as good as Mike Gillett, who won all of his games. Those 2 looking in very good shape to qualify, but equally in Group B, we'll see the bottom 3, if you like, fight it out for that remaining place. They all had 2 points.
100.
Yeah, I think it would take something quite disastrous for Mike Gillett and Haruki to not qualify through
140.
the finals night. But again, it starts. Anything can happen. I don't write anything off until it's statistically impossible.
Yeah, Mike only needs 1 win, but the one little bit of pressure, I think, is that he doesn't play until the 3rd game. He's the last player to appear tonight, so
41.
people will have started to catch up before he plays.
56.
In this fixture yesterday, Alex Small had the best performance of the group so far. He won 4-1 and averaging 3 figures as well. Really good stuff.
180.
Now there you see first 180 of the match. Let's go the way of Mikuru Suzuki.
94.
She did take
Mikuru
out a
Car,
120 checkout
120.
in this group yesterday. Treble 20 to start. This is exactly how she did it 24 hours ago. Single 20. And then tops.
Game shot on the second leg.
Nothing
Mikuru
sweeter than a
Suzuki.
repeater for Mikuru Suzuki, who ties it up at 1 apiece.
Third leg, Alec to throw first. Game
So a
on.
bit of a slow start from Suzuki, but 6 perfect darts in a row there. Hopefully that will be a bit of a
95.
settler.
Yeah, 306, really good. The slow start didn't last long. Well, it was
140.
8 perfect darts in the end from Mikuru Suzuki. Almost became 9.
100.
We did have the honour, of course, here at the MODUS Super Series of being the place where we saw the first televised
60.
9 darter hit by a woman, Fallon Sherrick, recently. And again, it had reverberations around the world.
99.
Not quite sure how many glass ceilings there are left for Fallon to go through, but another amazing achievement from her.
Is it annoying for the rest of you that she keeps getting there first?
Not for me.
95.
I can't speak on behalf of others, but no, I just think the women's game collectively has benefited from a lot of the exploits that Fallon has done. And when you think back, it almost could have been Mikuru Suzuki. History could have been completely different. And Mikuru Suzuki losing to Richardson, who's here next week.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm sure he's glad he's not here this week, really, if Makuru's playing.
174.
Playing like this,
Alioka 80.
a match for anybody. Well, this is going to be tricky for Alex Small. Wherever he puts his dart, it's going to be in the way.
Game
He's
shot on the
found a
third
way.
leg. Alex Small.
Alex Small sneaking it in to lead 2-1 despite this barrage of brilliance from Mikuru Suzuki.
Fourth leg, Mikuru to throw first. Game on.
Yeah, it did surprise me that Suzuki had such a slow start to this group, because when you think about how well Fallon usually does here, and then look at the order of merit in the women's series, Suzuki's
100.
actually above her. So I did think that she would be more competitive in Group A, but she certainly has been in Group C.
100.
Perhaps just warming to the challenge.
$100.
Well, whoever wins this first match and makes the first move really in this group, they're going to find themselves standalone top of the table, at least temporarily,
55.
on 8 points from 6 matches. Then we'll see Shane McGurk and Ricky Palmer look to do the same.
$140.
Kuru really just is honing in, keeping that pressure on.
43. Mikuru Car 161.
Treble 17. Already taken out 120 in this match. How about a 161?
136.
So close. Didn't really need to go for it, but she always does, doesn't she?
Yeah, I think as well, a background in soft tip, you tend to be quite slightly more confident on the ball than other people.
133. Mikuru Car 25.
Small has left to finish though, so Suzuki's only going to get 2 darts that are double here. Almost didn't get any.
$9. Alec your car 170. $85.
Yeah,
Mikuru
so
car
Suzuki back
16.
in. Needs double 8 for a holder throw.
Game
Yeah,
shot on
does
the
get
fourth
double
leg.
eight.
Mikuru Suzuki.
And this has got a feeling that it could be tight enough to go to leg difference. Every leg, I think, at some point, it may well
Fifth
count.
leg, Alec to throw first. Game on.
Yeah, at the moment she's on +1. Ricky Palmer +1. Alex Small +2.
100.
Shane McGurk top +4. So there's not an awful lot between them. The matches against each other if anybody wins those by a big margin, not only are you adding to your own leg difference, but you're taking it away from them as well.
45.
Obviously, you want to win, but a narrow defeat wouldn't be disastrous, would it?
No, not
One
at
under the
all. And that is most
80.
certainly not disastrous for Alex Small. First 180 of the match for him. Yeah, I thought that looked quite inviting.
140.
So far, just staying on throw this game, but with some good moments
57.
from both players. It's a really decent standard. We saw Suzuki threaten the 161. In the previous leg, Alex Small now looking
60.
for 164,
Alec
but
Carr,
doesn't have to go for it.
164. $88.
Well, that was a wayward one, and he's just left it a little bit more awkward. May only get one dart at double, so Suzuki's going to put pressure on here.
100. Alec Carr, 76.
Really was looking for another treble there. But Tops for 16 for tops.
56. Makuro Carr,
I was wondering if he was going to go
156.
for 20 to move across for 36.
Yeah, it surprised me that he deviated from that. Does seem more comfortable in that department. Double 10 now when he comes
41.
back. And
Alec
he's
Carr, 20.
not under too much pressure, but having seen Suzuki take out a three-figure finish already, you want to get this leg won, and he's not going to in this visit.
No
This is an
score.
opportunity.
Makuro Carr, 115.
Well, if Suzuki is going to in this match, does need to find a break, and a great chance here.
She's gone for the smallest target on the board there. She's found it in the
100.
end.
Alec Carr,
But
20.
when she didn't want it.
No score.
Oh,
Makuro
that was
Carr,
so close.
15.
Just in the 7, you could see from Suzuki's reaction there. Needs double 2.
Game shot
Yeah,
on
and
the
that's a
fifth leg.
good last
Makuro
start. And you
Suzuki.
would say a bit of a steal there from Alex Small.
Well, it was 6 darts missed at double in
Six
that
leg
leg for
Makuro
Alex
to
Small,
throw
and it all
first.
stemmed
Game
from,
on.
and you made the point at the time, the fact that he decided to go for tops rather than where he usually feels a home at double 18. Now Suzuki throwing
43.
for a win that would put her top of the table.
And both players have been very, very
100.
strong in terms of scoring, at least on their throws. So Makuri needs to try and keep up that trend.
It must be one of the worst feelings when you get yourself a break of throw
60.
and then you just kick off the next leg with not much.
Yes, and then your opponent's first dart falls into a 60 and you think, great, here we go.
100.
Small has taken the darts just about in this leg, but Suzuki can still rectify it if she can find a couple of trebles here.
$100.
Finally brings an end to that mini drought.
131.
And Small does like to leave himself on a 170 checkout.
Yeah, third time in this match he's left it, and he actually hit it yesterday.
85. Alec Carr, 170.
6 darts at it this time.
100.
Do wonder how confident he'll be feeling on doubles at the moment after that previous leg.
$24. Alec Carr, 70.
Needed at least a big 20 there to leave a finish.
So now he is going to his usual home.
34.
Not managed to cross the threshold yet. Suzuki can just put some pressure on, but if she loses this leg, kind of out of her hands. Small would have the darts in the decider.
99. Out of your car, 36.
Is that a marker?
Game
Yes.
shot on the 6 leg.
Really
Alex
does use that
Small.
first start well. See a little shake of the head there from Alex. But I think that's kind of relief
Seventh and
when you
final leg,
have
Alex
had
is
that
through
barrage
first.
of missed
Game
darts
on.
at double.
Nice sporting showing between the pair of them before getting this deciding leg underway. And
One
Small
out of
starts it
40.
very, very well indeed.
$100. $180.
Yeah, that's two fantastic visits there from Alex Small. And you sometimes find when it comes to that kind of one-leg shootout scenario, players can go one way or the other. They either kind of completely fold under the
100.
pressure, and we saw it a couple of times last night. Oh, I like Alec here, finding that extra gear.
Yeah, we do see him do
85.
this from time to time as well, whether it's at 3-3 or from 3-2 down, just putting a couple of legs where we know he plays fast anyway, but it just seemed like he sort of sprints and the other players just left in a daze wondering what's happened, where the game's gone.
140. Out of your car, 96.
Well, if he hits a treble 20, he'll get a go at that double 18.
78.
Can't find
Makuru
it.
car,
And this would be
161.
incredible.
Yeah, we saw Makuru narrowly miss this earlier. Not one, now needs treble 17. Yeah, and won't go. So Alex Small back for double 9.
97.
Could still get
Out of your
awkward for
car,
Alex. He's
18.
put in such a stellar sudden death leg, but now he's only going to get one more dart to win it. With Makuru Suzuki waiting and Small
10. Makuru car,
fluffed his lines
64.
right at the end. He was brilliant in the scoring stakes, but he's faltered at the finish. And Suzuki will get her match dart. Double 16.
48.
And
Out of your
Makuru
car,
makes
8.
a mistake as well.
Game shot on the match, Alex Small.
Yeah, and this time Alex Small does make sure. Sporting handshake there at the end, but it's Small that runs out a 4-3 winner over Makuru Suzuki. And Alex Small, after that win, does sit top of the table for now. Alex Small just under 85 average, with Makuru Suzuki something similar. So coming on to the next match, we have got Shane McGurk, and he will be playing Ricky Palmer.
Welcome back to the MODUS Super Series, where Ricky Palmer and Shane McGurk are about to get their match underway. Myself and Laura Turner will talk you through the 15 fixtures today, the first of which has just been won by Alex Small in a last leg decider against Mikuru Suzuki, meaning that Small is now the man at the top of the table. He's moved on to 8 points, and the winner of this will join him. McGurk, the man from Monaghan, over in Ireland, 28 years of age, former winner on the PDC Development Tour, takes on Ricky Palmer from Bristol, winner of an ADC Vault. That's how he qualified
First leg
for this.
Shane
And brother
first.
of Ryan Palmer, who
Game
you
on.
will have seen last night and will see again tonight. And I think it's fair to say that the lesser-known Ricky probably had a better first day than his brother.
Yeah, I would tend to agree. I think
100.
Ryan found himself in quite a tough group and just couldn't convert some good, moments of performance. Just couldn't convert them into wins. Whereas
100.
Ricky's already got 3 under his belt, but arguably in a tougher group to qualify from, as only 2 go through from Group C out of 6.
40.
Yeah, 3 from 5 in Group B tonight, as regular viewers will know. But this is always, I think, the toughest group, and it's often the case that
30.
at this point there aren't that many runners and riders, but we do still have at least 4, probably 5 players, mathematically, or 6 still in contention.
60.
And we've often seen it from just one tournament day to the next, that one player can be playing brilliant one day and it's not so well the day after, and vice
137.
versa. So anything can happen.
Well, in that first match, Laura, Mikuru Suzuki did have a match start against Alex Small. How damaging do you
96.
think that defeat could be for her?
I think for Mikuru, I think she pushed on from that first win yesterday. She did get the 3 consecutive wins. That
74.
helps with your confidence. So yeah, now she's gone from 3 consecutive wins, if you look at yesterday, to 3 consecutive losses. So it's then kind of breaking that curve, and more than capable of doing it. And was unlucky
97. Ricky
not to
O'Carr,
have picked up some points
160.
there. But yeah, you feel that if she's going to qualify, then she does need to start picking up some more points.
Yeah, and the next game is against
77.
bottom place Chris
Shane
Wickenden,
O'Carr,
so
108.
that'll be a big one for Suzuki. Will this be a big finish for Shane McGurk? No treble means no go at a double.
56. Ricky O'Carr, 83.
Treble 14. Misfiring a bit here, Ricky Palmer. Should have had at least a
33.
dart at the bullseye.
Shane
from
O'Carr,
83.
52.
So tops for a holder throw. Double 10.
Game shot on the first leg. Shane McGurk.
Yeah, opening 21 leg holder throw there for Shane McGurk.
Second leg, Ricky to throw
Yeah,
first.
kind of slow
Game on.
start. Get the sense that it is a day where everyone sort of knows what's on the line.
Well, yeah, it's one of those two things, isn't it? It sounds really strange when you talk about it in terms
41.
of darts, but you can kind of play a bit defensively and a bit tentatively, or you can go out and really try and attack it. I think for some players, they're just trying to see what their opposition is playing like as well. And
100.
an opportunity in that opening leg for just players just to settle down again.
$60.
Yeah, when these two met yesterday, away of Ricky Palmer.
100.
Yeah, I've been quite impressed with Palmer. Often the
45.
ADC qualifiers on debut come and struggle a little bit because it's just something you're not used to, playing on the stage in front of cameras and that kind of thing, and you can forgive them for
90.
taking some time to settle in. And Palmer did lose his first couple of matches, so really showed some defiance, didn't he? He bounced back to win his final 3.
123.
Will come into today feeling much more settled, having spent a day on the stage already.
136.
I've been quite impressed with quite a lot of the ADC players that have come through, and just say maybe don't have that experience of some of the others, but a few ADC winners into finals week can even win.
98.
Yeah, and the
Shane
sort
McCarr,
of poster boy is
75.
Adam Warner, isn't it? Who went and got a tour card from Q School last year. I'm sure we'll see a bit more of that next January as well. Shane McGurk here looking at tops.
55. Ricky O'Carr, 134.
Happy with how he threw it. You could see that from his reaction. But he will return with 3 at double 10 to double his lead.
37. Shane McCarr, 20. Game shot on the second leg. Shane McGurk.
Clinical finishing there from Shane McGurk. Double 10 helping him out. And leg in a row.
Third leg, Shane to throw first. Game on.
Yeah, and a slightly better leg than the first leg as well. For both players, which might be frustrating for Palmer because he started to improve,
85.
but so has his opponent, and he's halfway there. Arrow pointing towards the top of the table. And the point that Laura
60.
was making before, actually, about any of these players getting a big win and leg difference coming into it. Well, Shane McGurk's in a position now where he will feel he should win this match by at least 3
85.
legs.
In that short race to 4, when you find that early break as Shane has done,
59.
Ricky Palmer's just got absolutely everything to do now.
And speaking of everything to do, the two players that aren't or weren't in this four-way tie at the top of the table, Cord Decker and
60.
Chris Wickenden, they're coming up next. Decker on 4 points and could find himself ahead of Ricky Palmer, potentially even Mikuru Suzuki if he wins
100.
that match handsomely. And Matthew Edgar, who was with us earlier this week, actually tipped Cord Decker to win the week, so his tip is looking precarious at the moment, but he's close enough to be
93.
in contention. You don't have to win every match or win your group to win the week, do you? You just got to get
44.
to finals night and then do damage when you get there.
Yeah, and finals night's just got such a different dynamic to it than these group stages. Very much more, it feels much more cutthroat
54.
after doing a whole week of kind of group and round robin.
Well, Mike Gillett mentioned it in his interview last night, actually, that last time he won, when he won his week, he really struggled in Group B, sort of scraped through.
58. Shane McCarr, 124.
And went and won the whole thing. Shane McGurk, of course, has experienced finals night. He experienced a final. Lost to Steve West in the previous series.
92.
Yeah, sensible setup play there from Shane McGurk.
83. Shane McCarr, 32.
Go for 3-zip. Well, obviously, something in the way there. He's had to
16.
move.
Ricky O'Carr,
Just
97.
allows Ricky Palmer an opportunity. Going for double 19 here.
37. Shane
I'll
McCarr,
ask you a question about
16.
that in a moment, Laura, but we'll see how this leg ends first.
Game shot on the
Well,
third
has
leg. Shane
ended,
McGurk.
so Shane McGurk wins it. Leads the match 3-0. Not a game littered with quality. Yeah, the
Fourth leg, Ricky to throw first.
question
Game
I was
on.
going to ask is, we saw Ricky Palmer there on 97. Having hit the single 19, he went
99.
double-double. But when he could have done something similar with using double 17, when he had 74 left with 2 darts, he decided to go for a treble. And that seems like a common theme, that players seem less sort of
60.
inclined to go for a double 17 double-double finish than a double 19. Any reason for that?
If I could work out how dart players think, I think I'd
100.
be quite a rich person. But no, I guess the adjustment, if you're going for treble 19, the adjustment to go down to double 19 perhaps doesn't feel quite that extreme. But yeah, it's a bigger
100.
target. I don't, double 17 isn't one you naturally go for.
Yeah, it's the least aimed at double on
77.
the board.
$100.
Despite it not being the greatest game, it could be the greatest result here for Shane McGurk, who would put himself in a very strong position at the top of the table.
47.
Not just on 8 points alongside Alex Small, but he could increase his leg difference here to +8 if he wins this leg. That'd be 5 better off than small.
88.
7, 8, sorry, better off than the next closest on that metric, which would be Mikuru Suzuki, because Ricky Palmer's is going to crash here.
124. Shane O'Carr, 153.
We're looking for treble 19. So an opportunity here for Ricky Palmer.
99. Ricky O'Carr,
One you feel that he
54.
really does have to take.
Yeah, and his first proper one hasn't had a data double yet in the match. We'll feel he should have at different times.
34.
But he's got 2 and
Shane
missed 2.
O'Carr,
And
54.
now Shane McGurk has exactly the same equation. Double top for a whitewash win. It
Game
is
shot
the
on the match, Shane
perfect
McGurk.
start for Shane McGurk. A 4-0 thrashing of Ricky Palmer. And it means that McGurk has just emerged really as the main man in this group. Not the best performance he'll produce this week, but the best way to start the day. He goes top of the table, 8 points, a +8 leg difference, and he is sitting pretty. Coming next, Core Decker and Chris Wickenden, and you have to feel they're in the last chance saloon. Welcome back to the action here at the MODUS Super Series. Core Decker about to take on Chris Wickenden in a basement battle in Group C, and probably a match which will determine, certainly for Chris Wickenden, whether or not he'll have any chance of qualifying for finals night. Core Decker can put himself just 2 points off the pace if the giant Norwegian gets a big victory here. But Laura Turner alongside me, Chris Murphy, do you agree that this is pretty much do or die for Chris Wickenden?
Yeah, I do. And if you look at what's happened between the pair this week, Core Decker, they've met 4 times already. Core has won them all. So, can he turn the tide? Chris Wickenden, if he's going to beat him, this is the most important time for him to do it. He needs to keep himself in contention.
And the man nicknamed the Sheriff. Born in the Netherlands, but Norwegian by nationality. And Chris Wickenden from Norway to Nuneaton, the 35-year-old.
First leg quarter through first.
Winner back here at the Super Series.
Game on.
But looking like this probably will be his last day of the week. We were talking off air about the success lately of the sort of Nordic and Baltic region. We saw Anton Oslund,
81.
the first Swedish player to make it to a Champions week here at the Super Series. Actually, just a bit of breaking news. He's made his debut at the Hungarian Darts Trophy in the PDC European Tour. And he's won a
42.
6-2 win against Vladimir Anderson and an average of more than 97. So really, really good debut for him.
Yeah, very good indeed. Obviously one for debuts.
59.
Yeah. Yeah, congratulations. And it's going to be his debut at Champions Week, so watch out. Rest of the field.
93.
So far, Alex Small beating Makuru
100.
4-3, and then Shane McGurk, a 4-0 winner against Ricky Palmer, meaning that McGurk and Small are the top two, 2 points clear of the two that they've just beaten.
100.
Two behind them is this man, Kordecker. Giant of a darts player. I think the tallest we've ever had at the Super Series.
Yeah, quite possibly.
42.
Just kind of walking through the players area earlier, and it's yeah. I mean, I'm not that tall, but wow.
85.
Good job we've got an old church as our venue here, because we've got a high ceiling, otherwise he'd be in trouble.
I do wonder sometimes, you know, it's been
59.
discussed, is there an advantage, you know, for a player who is slightly taller throwing down on the board as opposed to someone who perhaps is throwing up onto the board? Don't really know.
I do think
95. Call the car
you often see darts
160.
for Kordecker on shots like this, for example, where for a lot of players they'd actually block double top if they were hitting the two treble 20s, because their sort of their line of sight is below where
62.
the darts are, where he can just see straight
Official
over them,
car
can't he?
86.
We saw it a bit earlier, I think. I think that's why Shane McGurk moved when he went for double 16 and kind of blocked it just because he couldn't see over the top of it.
Wicken doesn't have that problem the way his darts lie. The complete opposite,
38.
dangling down
Call the car
towards the floor.
98.
Treble 20 leaves double 19 for Kordecker to take the first leg. He's been pretty good at this step this week. Doesn't
79.
work out then, but he tries to open
Official
up
car
angles, does
48.
Kordecker. Double 16. That's a really interesting angle, because when you see that from the normal camera angle, you've got no idea that it's blocked, but it was a really difficult dart. Now he has got a clear sight at a different double 12.
24.
He fails to find that.
Call the car 19.
And you thought that was a massive opportunity there for Wickenden. Could have got an early breaker throw on a first leg, but now Kordecker looking at double 4.
15. Crucial car
Got a chance again for
24.
Wickenden.
It won't be the greatest double for him. That shouldn't be too bad a miss, because it's quite low. If it was right in the top right-hand corner, then he'd be in big trouble.
No score. Call your car 4.
But he might still find himself in big trouble if the big man can find double 2, which
Game
he
shot of the
does.
first leg. Kordecker.
Take the lead in this third match of the session.
Second leg, Chris to throw first. Game on.
Yeah, from Chris Wickenden's point of view, he had opportunities there, but he will need to break the throw, and not always easy to come by.
100.
I think we've seen in every match a bit of a scrappy opening leg by at least one of the players, often by both players. And that's
100.
the Friday feeling that they get here at the Super Series, knowing that every other day, the rest of the week, it could never be fatal. But today is the day you're either
96.
getting ready for finals night or packing your bag to go home.
Yeah, and probably especially for these two, because they have been here. They've come through Group A. and now in
32.
Group C. They've been here the whole week. So there's, you know, there's a lot of work that they've done. And it all comes down, as you say, to just this one day, this one session.
Yeah, it must just add to a little bit more intensity,
85.
a little bit more tension.
$99.
Decker himself, multiple time representative of Norway. Made it last year's World Cup, had quite a good run. Beat the likes of Jelle Klassen,
60.
himself a winner here at the Super Series.
$84. Chris, your car 160.
Wants to dart low on the treble 20. Wanted that dart first, basically.
100. $46. Chris, your car 60. $40. Quarter car 140.
It just so often blocks targets, doesn't it? That angle.
Yeah, and at the moment, you know, I'm
45.
slightly concerned, obviously, for the
Chris
campaign
Lugar,
of Chris
20.
Wickenden. He's 0 from 7. Really does need to sort out the finishing side of things.
Game
This
shot
time
of the
he
second
does.
leg. Chris Wickenden.
And it is, as a player, especially when you're up against it and you know you need to win and you're in the situation that Chris is in,
Third leg quarter through first.
That
Game on.
first leg on the board, it's just such a relief. Hopefully now he can settle into it.
46.
He's got Mikuru Suzuki in a couple of games' time. He's playing 2 of the next 3 matches, Chris Wickend, and by then we will pretty much know whether he is a runner or an also ran in
59.
this group. Next game's pretty interesting. Ricky Palmer taking on Alex Small. And it's about whether Small starts to steal a march and Palmer starts to get cut adrift, or whether they all get bunched up again.
40.
Yeah, there's still a few twists and turns, I think, that are going to come out of Group C today.
100. $61.
Well, don't forget, if you want to be here on Saturday night or any Saturday finals night, you can be. Tickets are available to see plenty of maximums.
125.
See one there. And lots of great darts played down to a champion on Saturdays here at the Super Series. If you are able to get to Portsmouth
100.
on London Road in the Live Lounge, can't miss it. Big Modus Live Lounge signs outside an old church building. It's one that's on many people's darting bucket
100.
lists these days, and tickets are absolutely free, but for a very small booking fee. So come along and enjoy an evening at the Arrows.
You do have to say it is a unique venue. And there is
100.
a wonderful atmosphere
Chris
on a
Lugar,
Saturday night.
117.
I know it, not just from the audience, but I know it's somewhere that a lot of the players want to play as well, those that don't hold professional tour cards.
57.
That's one
Quarter
of the
car
reasons that the ADC
154.
route was brought in. Players like Chris Wickenden have come from. Cord Decker representing ADC Europe, of course.
Well,
40.
it's kind of money
Chris Lugar,
can't
60.
buy experience, isn't it? You're playing on a stage. If you make finals week, you're playing in front of an audience. It's in front of cameras. And this for tops.
Well, he hit double 10 to win the previous leg.
40.
Can't find it this time.
Quarter car
Choices for Cord Decker on
114.
114. Treble 20 would leave double 18.
96.
Close, but
Chris
not close
Lugar,
enough.
20.
So another chance to break the throw here for Wickenden. And this
Game shot
time
on the
he
third
does
leg.
take
Chris
it.
Wickenden.
Yeah, this could be Wickenden just
Fourth leg,
saying to
Christopher
everybody
first.
else, I'm
Game
not out
on.
of this yet. I get the sense that he would have to win all of his matches.
And even then, probably reliant on the rest of the field beating each other to create that opportunity.
58.
It's one of the things that, as a spectator, I quite like, but you're not always in control of your own fate, especially when it comes to this second day.
60.
What do you think of the attire of
45.
Chris Wickenden, Laura? Is that your kind of style?
I quite like it. You know, it's different, it's unique.
He's brought 5 different ones. What I would be interested to know is whether he's brought 6 or not, because that'll show you how confident he
120.
is. That was a bit of an odd one from Cordecker.
I do think that people have got more and more imaginative with their darting attire, but there is only so much you can do with a pair of black
137.
trousers and a darting shirt.
Yeah, we've seen a few interesting garments here at the MODUS Super Series. The shoes of Jerry
60.
Hendricks last week were interesting. In fact, they would have gone nicely with that shirt.
Yeah, quite. Yeah, I think that's the next area, isn't it? We've seen Wesley Harms with his shoes.
100.
Obviously, Scott Williams with his bright yellow ones. Hendricks last week.
I feel like a certain Peter Wright is to blame. Or maybe before him, a certain Bobby George.
134. Chris Car 161.
Right, 161 for Wickenden, with Decker waiting on a much more manageable outshot.
57. Car 127.
And this is a better leg from both. 17. Does leave him the ball.
102.
Just misses it.
Chris Car 104.
Plenty of options on 104 as well. Assuming he's staying there, but it was going to be difficult, that, for him.
56. Car 25.
You do find, don't you, that some players are just so set in their ways, you know, they don't like to adjust, whereas other players are all over, you know, using the board.
Yeah, surely you've got to go for a target that's
9. Chris Car
clear if
48.
you've blocked a little bit and you've got a chance, but he will come back. We did see earlier on a 48 that he hit the single 16 and it really blocked the double. Now, is that one in the way or is that out of the way? Well, he's only got
16.
the top portion of the bed to
Quarter
aim at. You
past
see
16.
again there. It's a really sort of misleading type of shot, but is there an
Being shot on the
argument that
fourth
maybe he
flag.
should just be going for
Cordecker.
the 8 so that he's going for a target somewhere else on the board because Decker has made him pay the price there?
Yeah, quite, you know, potentially, yes.
This leg quarter through first.
But he
Game
doesn't
on.
tend to move up and down the oche either. He could get himself potentially a better angle. We see Cordecker do it to some good use.
Yeah, there's maybe a learning curve
134.
this week for Chris Wickenden if he watches back and just looks at the way his darts have behaved. And we've seen a lot of brilliant camera angles that have shown that
140.
he's blocking targets that other players just don't block because most darts will pretty much land how Cordecker's do.
85.
But the other side of the story is that when the opposite happens, his darts can help more than other players' darts help as well. So, for example, if he needs
76.
32 and he lands just outside the 16, it's not going to be blocking it, whereas for many players it would be.
Yeah, same with 38, you know, double 19, for example, you kind of stack it on top. So, yes. But
59.
unfortunately for Wickenden, we've just seen it act as more of a hindrance in this match so far.
Yeah, it's been an interesting talking point all week because it's something that we often do see players and
60.
are here for 5 days at the Super Series. They do start to adapt little things, but it's something that he hasn't done. He's just persevered with his own throw and his own routes.
85.
Now that is a perfect dart for him. And that's the stacking that Laura Turner was just talking about.
180.
Absolutely expertly
Car
done by Chris
138.
Wickenden.
And when you see that kind of shot, you can understand why Chris Wickenden does persevere with it. What do we know?
79. Chris, your car,
It might get him
45.
ahead, and it might get him a real advantage in this game. And this is the type of finish where he's not going to put the first dart in the way. Now, this is good for him now.
Game shot on
Double
the fifth
16,
leg. Chris
because
Wickenden.
couldn't really go wrong for him with just 32 left and nothing in the way, and he hit it first dart, and will now throw for the win.
Sixth leg, Chris to throw first. Game on.
I've always looked up to Kordecker.
You and the rest of the world, I reckon.
139.
He'd be feeling a little bit down at the moment. Wickenden is on course to win this match.
85.
Yeah, just lost a bit of form on that last start. There, Kordecker, maybe feeling the pressure.
140.
And when you have kind of got 4 wins over your opponent, it can work one of two ways.
47.
If you're that kind of, if you've got that bravado that we can see from some players, you know, they walk in and they're so confident because they've done it 4 times already. They think they're going to do it again. You know, that person's in their pocket. But the opposite way, if you're not quite that personality, is ultimately you think that person is playing well. They're going to
100.
beat me at some point. So it's such a psychological game, darts.
And I heard you and Henry last night talking about sort of darts players who'd be the best at playing poker.
132.
All week, I
Chris
would have
Yuka,
put Kordecker in that
122.
category, but just towards the end of the week, we started to see a bit of deflation, a bit of disappointment etched on his face. And he might have a little bit more in a few moments'
90.
time, because Chris Wickenden has set up his favourite double, complete an opening win on Friday.
59. Chris Yuka, 32.
Wickenden does have 6 darts at least from here to win the match.
Game
he
shot on
only
the match,
needs
Chris
one.
Wickenden.
13 darter to win it. Chris Wickenden, is he mounting the great escape in Group C? Kordecker departs the stage disappointed. Now he's also got a mountain to climb, but at least Wickenden has kept himself in with an outside chance. In with a very big chance is Alex Small, and he's back in action next when he faces Ricky Palmer.
Welcome back to the Super Series. For the break, we saw Pugs get off the mark for the day. Chris Rickerton get the better of Cord Decker by 4 legs to 2, rounding off the first round's worth of fixtures. Prior to that, Shane McGurk got the better of Ricky Palmer by 4 legs to 0. Otherwise, Alex Small got the better of Makura Suzuki in a last leg decider. Right, this is how the table occupies itself. McGurk and Small, the 2 bookmakers' favourites at the beginning of the day, now stretching a 2-point gap on Suzuki and Palmer, and now a well-uniformed table with Wicked and Deck at the bottom. 8, 8, 6, 6, 4, 4 are your league table numbers so far. Right, let's get to Palmer and Small. That's our 4th game of the afternoon session. Chris and Laura are in the comms box for it.
Yeah, thank you very much, Henry. And this is another interesting one. I think I'm going to say that quite a lot as the afternoon does progress. But you've got 2 players that really are in contention. Alex Small sat in 2nd place, Ricky Palmer in 4th. But I don't know what you think.
First leg, Ricky to throw
I
first.
didn't think Ricky looked particularly comfortable in his opening match today.
Yeah, well, he was beaten in straight legs, but against a player who wasn't at his best. That was probably the bigger worry for Ricky, wasn't it? And already signs of that discomfort
45
in this one. Alex Small, I think the opposite could be said. Even though Makura Suzuki did have a match start, it was such a
85.
commanding last leg for Small, wasn't it, in that one? He missed a few doubles in that game, but really did look on it.
100.
Yeah, I think with regards to Alex Small, and like you say, in that opening match, it went 140, 180, and if it wasn't for the fact that he just missed a plethora of
58.
doubles, would have been a real high average from him.
Yeah, the
39
winner of this one is going to be crucial to the way this group develops, because a win for Palmer would see him go on 8
92.
points level with Small and McGurk. But a win for Alex Small, and suddenly he's got a 4-point buffer to 3rd place.
56
Yeah, there's a real potential, isn't there, in this group for
58.
McGurk and Small to start pulling away, to start running away with it. It's down to the other players to just keep themselves within contention.
140
Well, Palmer did win the match yesterday. It was a 4-2 win for Ricky. And we did note in commentary that he seemed to
100
speed his
Ricky
game up
Carr,
against Small, and
121.
it actually seemed to work. He seemed to relish playing at super speed. And maybe
Game
that's
shot on
going
the
to be the
first
way
leg,
again
Ricky
for Ricky
Palmer.
Palmer, who produces a stunning checkout of 1-2-1 to land the first leg.
Second leg, Alex to throw first. Game on. 85
Say perhaps that extra bit of rhythm, and it's almost like a bit more of positivity in Palmer's throw.
Sometimes when you throw
93
faster, you sort of throw harder and firmer as well, don't you? And I think that might be happening for Ricky Palmer. Again, if he's to watch it back and learn, maybe picking up the pace
140
a little bit is something that will suit him.
And you also have less time to think. And I know it's not silly, but it's
60.
quite a natural reaction. You throw at that treble 20 target more, most times. Sometimes when you slow down, you start overthinking things.
100
Doesn't always help for players.
Yeah, they're just sort of almost in a practice game mentality here, aren't they? Where they're just walking up, throwing the darts, walking back,
92.
throwing the darts, because their opponent's so quick that they're out of the way by the time they've circled the stage.
Yeah. Do run the risk of getting dizzy. I've played a few fast players, and by the
100.
time they say I've walked back and it's my turn again, I'm not quite used to it.
Who was the quickest at the women's series?
But I tell you what, the one that it used
45
to be,
Alex Carr,
she has slowed down a
76
bit, was Chris Savary. I've played her before, and I could be still walking back, and she's
Game
throwing
shot
all
on the
3
second
darts.
leg, Alex Small.
Yeah, well, Palmer probably was doing that as he heard Paul Hinks call out game shot. And the second leg, Alex
Third leg, Ricky
Small.
to throw first. Game on.
Nice 14 darter, 76 checkout. Yeah, Katie Sheldon's pretty quick, isn't she? Robin Byrne. And here at the
42
Super Series, we've been having chats about who are the fastest players. We think Alex certainly up there. Scott Baker was one of the shouts as well. Tommy Morris,
140
very quick player. Scott Mitchell. Sorry, Scott, if you're watching.
Had to be
101
said. Funny enough, and it's not always with some of the players, and you mentioned obviously Katie Shelton
45.
and Robin Byrne, who I've played against. it's not just the actual throwing of the darts and that, it's the actual taking them out of the board. Everything seems to be just done at such a high pace, so much
140.
adrenaline pumping through them.
Oh, there's only one winner when it comes to speed of retrieval, and actually he's playing next week, James
140.
Richardson. Have you seen him? He just sprints to the board to retrieve his darts.
100. $136. Real car 118.
Yeah, good set-up play there from Small, but Palmer will need a treble.
Maybe an argument there, and it's would have been
94.
bold, but to
I'll
go
car
treble 16
40.
bull. Double 10 for Small, and still. Yeah,
20.
he blocked
Ricky
some of
O'Carr,
it because
24.
That's why he stepped across. So Palmer's kind of let off a little bit here. Can he make the most of it? Down for double 3. Now he's stopping the pace. He's taking a moment. He knows this is a big dart,
18.
but he fails to find it.
I'll car 20.
I'll come back to it in a minute as Alex steps up for double 10, and this
Game
time
shot on the
does
third
get it.
leg. Alex Small.
We were talking, weren't we, about the rhythm and the pace of Palmer. Did you notice the way that it landed in the board, as if he hadn't thrown it with
Fourth
that
leg, Alex, he
velocity
threw
that
first.
he has been when he's throwing faster?
Game on.
Yeah, and at the time that he'd taken a moment. But I suppose if he'd throwing them really
60.
fast and missed, we'd have been sat here criticising him for not doing that.
Oh yeah,
So
I need a narrative somewhere along the line.
yeah, sometimes I think the players, the speed is all well and good when you're throwing at the same target, isn't it? But when you're having
45.
to move around the board, whether it be trebles or doubles, that sometimes you can start to see players go wayward. Alex Small himself actually does that quite a lot. You'll see
66.
him at a couple of treble 20s, and then when he goes down for the 19s, it's a 3 or a 7. Just that half a second slower could make the difference, and it's something that a couple of players actually on
85.
the Pro Tour have started doing. Ricky Evans being one of them.
Yeah, I was just thinking of Ricky, watched him play recently. And it's that adjustment when you play at such high
100.
speed. I am the first to say that math is not my strong point, but how they actually calculate, count, adjust, and throw within the space of, a
96.
second, beyond me.
Good look at the bull.
105.
Same kind of situation here for Palmer. If he finds a treble, oh, he's done it the other way around.
65. I'll car 170.
Well, Small seems to like to leave this, doesn't he?
98.
Yeah, we're in game number 2 for Small. I think that's the 4th time he's left 170 so far.
50. I'll car 72.
Double top. Stepping across again. Taking a moment again. Does he make sure he delivers his dart properly?
32.
Bit of a
Ricky
flyer
O'Carr
in the end.
160.
I was hoping to see Mike Gillett produce a 170 finish, Laura, because it'd be a Gillett fish, wouldn't
140.
it?
I'll car 40.
Ah. You saving that one.
Well, you can have it
I
tonight.
can, you're not in comms tonight.
35. Ricky O'Carr 20.
Well, double 10 for Ricky Palmer. Small has again let him
Game shot
back
on the
in
fourth
here,
leg.
and
Ricky
it's all
Palmer.
square, and the impetus is now back with Ricky because the game is now back on throw.
Fifth leg, Ricky to throw first. Game on.
Kind of flashbacks here to Small's opening match against Mikuru Suzuki. Good scoring, commanding position, missed doubles, and allowed his
100.
opponent to step in. And done it again here against Ricky Palmer.
180.
Will just release a little bit of pressure for Alex Small and put plenty on Palmer.
125.
Guru Suzuki, Chris Wickenden next, then Shane
140.
Core Decker. We will start to see whether this is going to be a really bunched up group or whether 2 or 3
41.
players are going to run away with it.
$105.
Yeah, and you spoke about it earlier, didn't you, Chris? That explosive scoring power that Alex Small can find every so often.
Yeah, and it seems like he's
105.
in one of those
Alucard,
spells
76.
now, but the important bit is getting the finish, because we've seen that sort of not happen in some legs this week.
Game
But he
shot on
does
the
get it
fifth
this
leg.
time.
Alex
That's
Small.
a really nice leg of darts for Alex Small. 12 darter to break Ricky Palmer and maybe break him in more ways
Six
than
leg
one.
Alex to throw first. Game on.
Yeah, Palmer wasn't far behind in that leg.
97.
So now Alex Small once again has the advantage, is throwing for the match. Palmer needs to find another break.
98. $60. $95. $52.
And again, we spoke about Alex's explosive firepower after that
43.
last 12 dart leg. Now down to 292 in 9. Cannot find a treble 20.
41. $133.
Yeah, that's a good last dart from Ricky Palmer. Had to stay there. Didn't hit the treble. The single would have left him the big fish.
57. Ricky Carr 132.
They did have to go for the champagne route for the 132.
41.
To be honest, he hasn't taken enough off it there to feel confident about breaking back here.
58. Ricky Carr 91.
For me, 132 always has to go the bullseye route. It is just one of those shots that just leaves you so many options.
Well, that's that
41.
shot again where he
Alex
was
Carr
on 91,
136.
didn't go the double 17 and ended up only leaving 50.
58. Ricky Carr 50.
So 2 darts at double to force a decider. He opts for tops.
Game shot on the sixth leg. Ricky Palmer.
And a bit of a wave of the hand there. That's another break, a throw. And we are now down to another one-leg shootout between Palmer and Small.
Seventh and final leg. Ricky to third first. Game on.
Well, Alex Small won a last leg decider on the throw in his first match of the day. Now he's going to try and win one against the throw.
61.
What was interesting about that there from Ricky Palmer was he moved across for the treble 20, but that didn't move back for the treble 19. And
100.
throwing a wayward dart. That's a bad habit, isn't it, as well? A lot of darts players have that.
Yeah, I don't like moving. Sometimes it is just a necessity,
40.
but I don't tend to like moving. But yeah, sometimes you have to.
I don't like moving either, Laura.
I'm
Nothing
quite
to do with
happy in
darts. Yeah.
happy in our chairs.
43.
Well, they're a bit of scrappy, this. 40 points for one player, followed by 43 for the
66.
other. And even though Palmer's found a treble there, the other 2 darts have drifted, and there's another drifter.
45.
Well, it's kind of weighted in different ways for both players. As we say, only 2 out of the 6 go through to finals night from this group. Alec does have a massive
57.
opportunity here to stretch a lead, but Palmer wants to stay in contention as well. It's not
60.
just what you do up there. It's not just what you're throwing. It's what you're thinking as well.
He's done it again, and he's just starting to boil over a little bit here, Ricky Palmer. But he needs to remember the situation. If he
85.
wins this leg, it's back to as you were, really. He's in a 3-way tie at the top of the table.
22.
So say, whilst Alec kind of still looks quite calm, I'm sure he's, kicking underwater, his legs underwater at the moment. But Ricky, you can really see he's very intense.
168.
That is the visit of the day. In the context of this match and this group, that is absolutely sublime stuff from Ricky Palmer. Running 1-6-8 setup to leave himself
85.
double 12 in a last leg
Ricky O'Connor,
decider
24.
against one of the players he's chasing down at the top of the table. Double 12 will see him go level with the top two. Double 6 now for Palmer. And Palmer
Game shot on the match,
pins
Ricky
it.
Palmer.
Palmer wins it, a 4-3 victory over Alex Small that keeps this group wide open. Small had the chance to steal a march at the top of the table, but Ricky Palmer has pounced and made it a three-way tie that could become a four-way tie if Mikuru Suzuki can beat Chris Wickenden next.
This is the MODUS Super Series. $180.
Joe Taylor, Garrett Tilly, and board 2, Craig Nixon, Robert Young.
Welcome back to MODUS Super Series 5, where Mikuru Suzuki and Chris Wickenden are about to play. And Suzuki is in a good spot to try and secure a place at Saturday night's finals. If she wins this match, she'll join Shane McGurk, Alex Small and Ricky Palmer on 8 points at the top of the table. But a win for Chris Wickenden in his opener has kept him just about clinging to the cliff edge. If he can double up here, then suddenly he'll find himself just 2 points off the leaders himself. So, opportunity for Wickenden to
First leg,
pull off the
Mikuru
great
to throw
escape,
first.
But Mikuru Suzuki did miss a
Game
dart
on.
against Alex Small in her opening match. Don't want to sort of overstate the importance of every game, but every game does start to feel like must win, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It really does. We started the day with top 4 players on 6
100.
points. A win here for Mikuru will basically see all 4 top players the same for on 8 points.
Yeah, and she could end up being in a better position actually if she wins this match than some of the others. And you can see
46.
she knows how important it is just going through a pre-shot routine, because she only lost narrowly, didn't she? Whereas when Ricky Palmer lost earlier on, he lost heavily and then won narrowly. So Suzuki will be
100.
looking to do the total opposite of that.
Yeah, indeed, indeed.
$58.
Curry did lose to Wickenden yesterday in this Group C stage, but did get a win against him in Group A. One of only 2 wins for Makuru when she was playing in Group A, but definitely been better here in Group
43.
C.
$60.
I just sort of wonder what the motivation was for each player today. I wonder if Wickenden was actually
60.
sort of fired up and thinking about how to qualify, whether he thought he would need to get through all the matches or whether he was kind of free rolling, thinking, well, I'm pretty much out, let's just relax
137.
and play some good darts. Can't really get a read on him when you watch him play, can you?
No, no, not at all. I do wonder when you're in that position where it's kind of all or nothing. Do you tense up or can you relax into it, as you say? Because
140.
so Wickenden's already got that 1 win under his belt so far today.
Yeah, I think it's difficult in this scenario to take one game at a time,
95.
but that's kind of what
Makuru
everyone
Car
says you should do.
58.
Oh no, I think you always look ahead. You know the order of players you've got, and you're watching everyone else as well. Tops here for Makuru.
He's certainly got better as the week has gone
38.
on. Makuru Suzuki.
Crystal Car
Grimace
105.
there as she feels this leg might be getting away. For me, Wickenden's strength has been bigger finishes when he gets the first dart right, but he was a little bit unlucky there. Just the wrong side of the wire meant that he couldn't finish in this visit.
73. Makuru Car 20.
So this here, just for a holder throw.
Game shot on the first
Well
leg.
taken there
Makuru
for
Suzuki.
Makuru, and I like that little nod of the head there for Makuru Suzuki.
Second leg, Chris to throw first. Game on.
Just to put you in the picture of how things are going in this group, if Makuru Suzuki
58.
does convert this into a victory, this is the in-play table, then she will be tied at the top with Shane McGurk, who would have a game in hand against Cordecker next, and Alex Small, and indeed Ricky Palmer. But she
100.
would be above him because of what we were talking about at the start of the match, the fact that he won narrowly but lost to McGurk 4-0. That could prove damaging. His first match of the day might
60.
be the one that he comes back to rue at the end of the day.
$60.
She's a fiercely tough competitor to play against.
100.
I've played her on several occasions myself. And when she actually finds her range, and when she is at her brilliant best, she's very uncatchable.
She's shown
140.
signs of it as the week's gone on here at the Super Series, Makuru Suzuki. As I said, expected her to be challenging for a finals night place just based on the fact of how good she's been on the women's series, and Balancheric seems to make it through
140.
with regularity.
$60.
Yeah, you do
Chris
yourself a
Car
slight disservice 'cause you have a
143.
decent record against Makuru.
I've got lucky a couple of times, yeah. But not at the big ones.
51. Makuru Car 141.
I think what the difference is as well with the top players, especially, well, all top players, but it's the consistency that they find.
Well, treble 19 is what she's looking to find here. And now double 12. Would have been a moment of
117.
magic. She still may
Chris Car
return.
92.
Wickenden on 92 has options. Gambled on a treble 20. Hasn't found one, so Makuru will
60.
return.
Makuru Car
Three at double
24.
12.
Game shot on the second leg. Makuro Suzuki.
2-0. Well, Chris Wickenden better whip into the commentary box and have a word with you, Laura, because you actually beat her just
Third
the
leg,
weekend
Makuro
just
to
gone,
throw
didn't you?
first. Game on.
In fairness, though, she actually won the event beforehand, and I think you don't get a huge time to turn around between events, the morning event and the afternoon event. So I did manage to find
26.
Sometimes when you're those top players, you get that target on your back, and I think I knew what I had to do. She just won, so yeah, as I say, I got a bit lucky.
55.
Says lucky, but she's actually leading the women's series head-to-head 3-2 against Makuru.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, the one that you remember is obviously the World Championship,
Yeah,
one, isn't it?
of course, yeah. I'm definitely not leading
60.
anything in the World Championships.
Well, Suzuki leads this one 2-0, and it bolsters her bid to qualify for Saturday night.
81. $80.
Kuru can actually hold throw here and see it out. Again, we can talk about leg difference because she's just going to help her campaign and
60.
narrow in on Alex Small.
Yeah, that little sort of battle with Ricky Palmer. She'd have potentially here could get the complete reversal where she loses 4-3 and wins 4-0, and
60.
he wins 4-3 and loses 4-0. And like, often in these races, you focus on the very last result, but it could be the ones earlier in the day that actually have the biggest impact.
135. $81. Chris Yukar, 170.
So that last 135 to set up 170. Linden now has at least 6 darts from here. And we'll need all 6.
He did sneak that
125.
treble in. It could have been an opening for Suzuki had he not found a treble, but in the end he found 2.
$140. Chris Yukar, 45.
Just sneaks in, but this first opportunity of the match for a double for Wickenden.
He's got to try and not be attracted to that dart.
13.
Gone well away from
Makuru
it, but that
Yukar,
happens quite a lot.
54.
When he goes low, he stays low. Suzuki's got a chance here. Single 18 for double 18 for 3-0.
36. Chris Yukar, 32.
Big chance missed.
Yeah, we've often said when it's a clear bed here for Wickenden,
Game shot on the
doesn't
third
often
leg.
miss.
Chris Wickenden. Fourth leg, Chris to
Got
throw
that moment
first.
down.
Game on.
2 darts missed the 3-0 lead for Makuru Suzuki.
$101.
just for the sake of one double, the difference between 2-1 and 3-0. Now we're back on throw.
60.
A loose first one, but a good adjustment from Wickenden with the second and third.
125. $85. $105.
And again, it was that perfect kind of first dart for Wickenden where he can just about stack it over. Leaves himself on a big fish again. McCrew trailing back on 3, 5, 6, but
140. Crystal car 170.
We've seen this left so often today. It's inevitably going to go at some point, isn't it? Is this the point? Well, that first start looked pretty inviting as well.
98. $135. Crystal car 72.
a bit of pressure on the 72 for Wickenden. Treble 20 leaves him double 6. Double 3 can be awkward.
66.
Well, I think
Mikuru
at
car
least he hasn't
81.
gone inside, because 3 is even more awkward. Suzuki needs a 12 to get a go at the bullseye. Treble 12 would have given a go at double 13, but she's missed the big number completely.
41. Crystal car
Just
6.
use a single 13 to tee up tops. Now, you talked about this shot earlier, didn't you, Chris Wickenden? It'll be 1 under, 1 in, the plan here. There's the 1 under. But that is not where he wanted it.
score.
And suddenly,
Mikuru car
Mikuru
40.
Suzuki's got an opening again.
Needs double 10.
20.
I'm surprised she maybe didn't move
Visual
over
car
slightly
6.
with that, at that angle. But Wickenden back for 6. Does he go straight for it again? Or does he split it?
Straight
Getting
forward,
shot on the
straight in
fourth
it,
leg. Chris
and level in
Wickenden.
this game. Chris Wickenden refusing to roll over, having been in such a
Fifth leg Makudo to throw first. Game on.
difficult position in this MODUS Super Series group. Probably needing to win all his matches, and he still has a chance to do so.
$81. $42.
Just say in terms of scoring and consistency has been a bit up and down from these two in this match.
40.
You feel this leg is probably more important for Mikuru Suzuki than Chris Wickenden, as she does have the darts.
57.
A win in this leg for Wickenden, and he would be throwing for the match.
Yes. Getting increasingly more important.
100.
Chamber Girk and Core Decker waiting in the wings for game 6 of today's 15. McGurk
96.
could be the player who really makes a move and makes this group his own. A victory for him would see him be the first to double digits.
100. $98.
So a chance here, neither on a finish, so Mikuru can set something up. Really feel it needs to hone in on a treble 20.
100.
It's a good last dart.
$40. Makudo car 80.
That last dart from Wickenden leaves him on a 168. Can't finish, so Mikuru has got 6 darts from here, but
Being
only
shot on the
needs the
fifth
2.
leg. Makudo Suzuki.
Yeah, and that may just be a settler for Suzuki, because she's kind of been the architect of her own downfall in this match. We've seen Wickenden come back into
Sixth leg
it, but
Chris to throw
she's
first. Game on.
now only 3 out of 11 on the doubles, 2 out of 10 before that one. So a nice clean finish there. And just give her the confidence to cross the line.
60.
Yeah, when you think we were talking about her being 3-0 up and almost running away with it. Well, now to make it 3-2 and hold her throw.
If Chris Wickenden does lose this game, he's going to be 4 points off the pace.
100.
But with only 3 games left to play, so it's pretty certain that that will be it for him. Considering that
41.
the players above him, some of them have got to play each other as well, so they're guaranteed to get to 10 points. And at that point, he'd be relying on some kind of mathematical miracle.
60.
Do start there from Wickenden.
41.
So opportunity here for Kuru Suzuki to take a bit of an advantage in this leg.
100. $45.
And you just feel it's all kind of slipping away here from Chris Wickenden.
$60. $60.
We're 15 darts into the match for Wickenden, yet to find a treble 20. So Makuru again with the opportunity to leave a tidy finish.
Just been doing
100.
some quick sums, Laura, and by my maths, if Chris Wickenden loses this game, the only way that he could qualify is if every single player in this group finished on 10
45.
points.
Makuruka 81.
And it is looking like he's going to lose the game. He might lose it now.
69.
Still trying to keep himself in contention.
81.
But Suzuki back for double
Makuruka
six.
12.
For the match, for Makuru,
Game shot in the
it's
match.
as you
Mikuru
were.
Suzuki.
at the top of the Group C table. 4 players started the day tied at the top, and now those 4 players are tied again. 8 points apiece for Shane McGurk, Alex Small, Ricky Palmer, and Makuru Suzuki after that 4-2 win against Chris Wickenden. McGurk, though, is looking to move clear at the top when he takes on Core Decker after the break. Welcome back to the action here at the MODUS Super Series, where Decker is about to take on Shane McGurk, who is looking to pull clear at the top of the table. The last set of results have meant that Mikuru Suzuki and Ricky Palmer have joined Alex Small on 8 points, and Shane McGurk, however, he can end the 7th round of fixtures on 10 if he defeats Decker, effectively condemning Core for not qualifying for finals night.
And arguably, I don't know if you'd agree, Chris, but matches so far have been a bit tentative. Everyone knows that there's something to play for. You know, they've all still got that opportunity.
First leg, Shane did through first.
And I don't think anyone's really
Game
taken a
on.
grasp of this Friday afternoon session as yet.
Yeah, I mean, Shane McGurk did win his first game 4-0, but it wasn't a brilliant 4-0 win.
93.
No, in terms of performance, I think 79 average there for McGurk in his opener. I just think if someone can just raise that, maintain something around, you know, the kind of mid-80s
60.
to 90, really has got an opportunity to, you know, take control of this group.
Yeah, and I think Core Decker might still be kicking himself, having lost to the person at the bottom of the
100.
table. Coming into today, Core actually finds himself at the foot of the field now. But had he won that match against Chris Wickenden, he'd have been throwing here to make it a 5-way tie.
140.
Still do feel there will be plenty of twists
98.
and turns in this group, but Shane McGurk is now the player who can kind of avoid that drama. He can make it quite comfortable for himself.
Yeah, this game in hand means he's the only one that at this
95.
stage can pull away.
$60. $96.
150
Shane
then for
McGurk,
McGurk
150.
to win the first leg on throw. Decker waiting on a much more manageable finish. And we'll get a go at it.
And I still predict at one point
118.
Conan Whitehead
Codicar,
will get 3
110.
balls on a 150 checkout when we see him back at Champions Week.
$94.
I can't get the
Shane
more
McGurk,
conventional
32.
finish there. So McGurk coming back for double 16.
Game shot on the first leg. Shane
Have we done
McGurk.
the darting doppelgangers chat yet regarding Shane McGurk? Do you think he maybe has a resemblance to another
Second leg,
certain
quarter
dart
through
player?
first.
Really,
Game on.
really does he not? Yes. Yeah, we were speaking about it earlier. Not doesn't live far from here. Well, does now, but didn't.
Well, overseas.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Keegan Brown
180.
is the player in question. Surely long lost brothers or something.
Perhaps, yeah.
180.
Oh, we're going to see the best leg ever seen at the MODUS Super Series here, and Keegan Brown's got a mention in it, so thank us for that, because no player has missed a treble yet. Well, another treble, but not the right one.
83.
And I know if Keegan was watching, he was quite taking the compliment when McGurk hit the 180, but then when he hit
121.
the big one, no, he thought nothing like me.
Yeah.
$100.
What about Core Decker? Do you think he's got
55.
any,
Codicar, 138.
likeness to anyone? Darren Webster, perhaps?
58. Shane McGurk,
How many Darren
145.
Websters would make a Core Decker?
Oh, yeah. 5. Still gives me a bit of a throwback to the PDC
60.
Grand Slam where
Codicar, 80.
Darren Webster had to play Dave Parletti and the graphic was just the top of Darren Webster's head.
Game shot on the second leg.
Core
Codicar.
Decker has managed to level this game. You can just see he towers over
Third leg,
everybody,
Shane
doesn't
did
he?
through first. Game on.
But one apiece. And basically every other player in the practice room is wanting
140.
Kordeka to win this game.
Well, yeah, and I think for us and everyone watching, probably a similar result. It just keeps that table very, very interesting.
135.
Next game in the
59.
group, by the way, Chris Wickenden against Ricky Palmer. Wickenden is pretty much done for. And that's an opportunity presented
100.
for Palmer, but Wickenden has shown all week that he can beat anybody, just hasn't managed to put a good run of results together.
Yeah, but Wickenden, if he does think that perhaps, you know, his race here has run at
98.
this current Super Series, I wonder if it then allows him to relax, plays with a bit of freedom, because I still think he can cause some upsets, even if he is out of the group.
133.
I think he's the kind of player, if, for example, he managed to get his way into Group B, then he might have done enough to get through in that group, and who knows what happens on a finals night.
80. Call your car 133. $77. Shane your car 124.
Well, Shane McGurk's last visit, if he hadn't hit that treble 19 at the single, he wouldn't have left a finish. He kind of got away with that. Did leave a finish. He left this finish. He
99.
hasn't taken it
Call your
out.
car 56.
So double 18, and this would be for a break. Double 9.
38. Shane your car 25.
It's a fashionable double this week, doesn't it? Double 18. A lot of the players seem to be leaving that. Shane McGurk, though, conventional way on the 25.
17.
find it.
Call your car 18. No score. Shane your car 8.
Well, the closer you look, it won't change anything, Core.
Okay, still the same outcome. Both having a bit of double trouble. Shane McGurk finds himself on double 1.
6. Call your car 18.
And most double trouble legs do end on double 1, but Kordeka's hoping to avoid that prospect. That should be a decent guide for him. Now, is that one a help or a hindrance? Doesn't need to move.
Game
So
shot
he
on the
crashes
third
it in off
leg.
the barrel
Kordeka.
into the bed and into the lead. 2-1, break a throat.
Fourth leg corded through first. Game on.
See a wipe of the brow there from Kordeka.
Yeah, this is the
58.
early twist that this group was needing, really. We did say it's going to be a close run thing, and it may well be that all four players
97.
after 2 matches each are still tied at the top of the table, but then Kordeka would just be 2 behind them if he wins a game.
43.
Yeah, it's still anyone's game, especially, as you say, if this match goes the way of Kordeka.
85.
Mikuru Suzuki and Ricky Palmer play each other in the very last match of the day. Suzuki also plays Shane
97.
McGurk. Alex Small and Shane McGurk play each other as well. Ricky Palmer's already played 2 of the top
100.
2 players, so they're all. Some of them are still to play each other, which is why it's not as. Even that 2-point disadvantage that Decker may have at this is bigger than it seems, because
98.
a couple of the players are guaranteed to get to 10 points.
$171.
And that's a great shot there from Shane McGurk. And we've seen it and said it already, isn't it? When you do find that breaker throw and you just cannot
85.
follow it up.
Shane your car
Very
48.
frustrating for players, but this has been good. A very good response from McGurk.
Yeah, he doesn't want the drama. He wants to be out in front. be in pole position.
Getting shot on the fourth
He
flag.
might
Shane
well
McGurk.
get there. McGurk breaks back and ties it up at 2-2.
Fifth flag Shane to throw first. Game on.
Very much look deep in thought there, Cordecker.
93.
Well, he's been sort of tiptoeing across the tightrope, hasn't he, all throughout this group, and get the sense that he feels like he's about to fall if he loses this game.
121.
Yeah, I guess he could also
58.
consider himself slightly unlucky to have found himself in Group C. He wasn't far off Group B, finished fourth behind Kevin Painter, who's back in action tonight.
137.
The only consolation, and it's not for Core himself, it's just for me, of him not qualifying, is that Matthew Edgar tipped him to win the week. So that's
96.
a win for many of us here at the MODUS Super Series, because he does like to praise himself when he gets a prediction right, does Matt Edgar?
97. 58. Cordicar 146.
So could we be looking at a third break a throw in this match?
Could do it in style as well.
114.
Not quite, but Core will be back for the double he's just missed to get that breaker throw that would put him back in charge of this game.
41. Cordicar 32. Getting shot on the fifth flag. Cordecker.
And that is another break a throw. And now Cordecker, full advantage, swinging back in his direction.
Sixth leg quarter throw first. Game on.
But just to explain the significance of this leg and any more, if there are any more in this match, if Cordecker wins it, Shane McGurk will stay on 8 points.
140.
With Alex Small, Makuru Suzuki and Ricky Palmer all on 8 as well. And Cordecker would move to 6.
121.
Really does feel like it's going to go down to the wire. Very last few matches.
Still nobody mathematically
55.
eliminated. Remember, we said Chris Wickenden could still get through, but every player would have to finish on 10 points for that to happen.
134.
But you know that a group's been close when you just look at the leg
66.
difference column. If you think about Group 8, Andreas Harrison was plus 26 at the top at the end of the group. Makuru Suzuki was minus 31 at the bottom.
58.
In this group, it's all just single digits, isn't it? Plus 4 at the top. That man there before this match, and Chris Wickenden at the bottom, minus 5.
96.
Yeah, it kind of goes back to what I was saying earlier, and just no one's really taken charge, taken control. I mean, from our point of view, it's great, it's exciting, and we still can't predict who is going to top this table.
98. Cordicar 144.
144 for Decker. Not going to do it. So McGurk's going to get a go at the 90 to get another breaker throw and keep this contest swinging
90.
one way then the other.
Shenyukar 90.
Should be looking at 20s. So treble 20 leaves him double 15. Is that too close?
60.
And yeah, just
Cordicar
on
54.
the wrong side of that dart. Up for double 18. Back over for double 9.
36. Shenyukar 30.
Double 9 not been kind to Cordecker.
Right on the wire, but can't afford to come inside with this dart. Does get another go, but he's shuffling across. And he didn't have much
No
to
score.
aim at, did he?
Quarter car
of this
18.
for a victory. Double 9. And still. And
Game shot on the
Cordeka
match,
survives.
Cordeka.
And this group is wide open here at the MODUS Super Series. Shane McGurk beaten, meaning he's tied on 8 points with 3 other players, and Cordeka might have just put himself in the picture. He wins 4-2 with 3 fixtures left to play.
Welcome along to those joining us on Sporty Stuff TV for the continuation of the action here from the MODUS Super Series. We are midway through the action in Group C on this Friday afternoon, and this is what we have seen so far. Well, it has been a day full of twists, full of turns. We had 4 at the top of the table at the beginning of the day, and still we are none the wiser as to who is going to make their way through. Those results from our games thus far: And this is how it correlates as far as the league table is concerned, because we still got 4 leaders at the top of the pack, and Cordeka keeping close company in behind on 6 points. We are literally none the wiser. In fact, nothing really has changed from yesterday's action thus far. And we're about to get the action underway here on Sporty Stuff TV as Chris Wickenden takes on Ricky Palmer, and every single result is crucial from here on in. With the abacus down in the commentary box, it's a very good afternoon to Laura Turner and Chris Murphy.
Yeah, thank you very much, Henry, and thank you everyone for joining us. Again, another interesting one. Mathematically, Chris Wickenden, you know, he's still just within, well, I wouldn't say touching distance, but he's still in the mix just about, but needs a lot of results to go his way. Whereas Ricky Palmer is there in joint top. He's actually 4th on leg difference, but on 8 points. So chance here for Ricky to actually top the table.
Yeah, it's been a remarkable group. Chris Wickenden, as Laura rightly says, not quite out of it, although it would be the most remarkable turnaround if he made it, and it would really need abacuses. But Palmer,
First leg, Chris
well,
to
he'll
serve
feel it's
first.
in his own hands. He's one of the players that's
Game
tied
on.
at the top on 8 points. I'm not sure even Paul Hinks could help us with the numbers today. We are going to try our best to let you know what the state of play is as the games develop, but it will become clearer
43.
as the day goes on. I think the easiest way to put it in terms of Chris Wickenden's chances is basically he's got one raffle
80.
ticket and everybody else has got about 50.
Yeah, yeah, nice. Yeah, so all Chris can really hope to do is probably try and win every game by, you know,
101.
4-0, 4-1. Hope everyone else finishes on the same kind of points and he just sneaks through on leg difference. But that's a lot of...
Yeah, easy when you put it like that.
Oh, of course. Everything sounds quite easy sat in
60.
here.
So it's Wiki versus Ricky. for the
95.
Second time. And when they met yesterday, it went all 7 legs. Palmer got the win in the last leg decider.
100.
Yeah, and in terms of how both kind of
71.
performed, Palmer has had a winning result, but also been on the end of a 4-0 as well. But not much really separating them today statistically. So again, could be another one of those matches that does go all the way.
89.
Yeah, some strange matches, Chris Wickenden. I just haven't seen him really play well enough for sort of 4, 5, 6, 7 legs. He often has a really good couple of legs and then he's off and his opponent gets back into the game.
26.
And he's made a bit of a mess of this. He was on 2-6-2, he hit a treble 18 first dart and then hasn't managed to leave a
81.
finish in the 5 darts that follow.
'59. Ricky O'Carr, 91.
So early opportunity here for a break. Treble 14. Leaves him double 16.
59. Chris
I
O'Carr,
can't criticise him that
106.
time because he did get a dart at double, but again it was at 17 and then deciding not to use the double. Double 16 for Chris Wickenden.
74.
Same
Ricky
target that
O'Carr,
we just saw
32.
Palmer miss, and he's missed it as well.
Game shot in the first leg. Ricky Palmer.
Yeah, there is an early breaker throw for Ricky Palmer.
Second leg, Ricky to throw first.
Just
Game
see
on.
Chris Wickenden there, just having a look up, bit of a stretch.
Do you know what? First time all week that we've seen any sort of reaction from
95.
Chris Wickenden. It's been difficult to understand what he's thinking and feeling.
I'd say that was slight exasperation,
180.
followed by obviously a bit of determination.
Yeah, that is a perfect start. The perfect dart for him.
81.
Bottom wire treble 20, and he followed it perfectly.
'85.
And as you say,
96.
Chris Wickenden has got these big legs in him. lacking that consistency over an entirety of a match. But this is one of those good legs.
140.
Well, 96 when he comes back to
96.
complete the good leg.
Chris Car 96.
And he's getting 2 darts at double 18. That becomes 1 at double 9.
No score.
Not just missed.
Ricky
he's
Car
both-
133.
Yeah, Wickenden coming back for
93. Chris Car 96.
but under so much more pressure now with Palmer sat on tops.
They never hit the treble second time round, do they? And this time he's not going to get a go at a double. But
38.
what was a brilliant
Ricky
leg
O'Connor,
of darts
40.
from Chris Wickenden has just gone horribly wrong.
No score. Chris Car 58.
You have to argue that was unlucky there for Palmer, just not unable to make that slight adjustment. So tops now for Wickenden.
Double 10.
38. Ricky Car 40.
But don't forget he was on an 11 darter in this leg, Chris Wickenden. Still not gone out after 18. Can Palmer make him pay? Yes, he can.
Green shot on the second leg. Ricky Palmer.
And after the worst possible start today, Ricky Palmer, when he lost 4-0 in his opening match,
Third leg, Chris to through
he
first.
might be
Game
about
on.
to put himself top of the table.
$96.
This is in play, so if Ricky Palmer
100.
does go on and win this game, he will be the man in the outright lead. And interestingly, the next game is the one between the other 2 players just below him, Alex
101.
Small and Shane McGurk. So one of them is going to lose ground.
$85.
You have to kind of feel a bit for Chris Wickenden. You know, as you say, set himself up for an 11 dart leg, scored outstandingly.
58.
And you know, sometimes when things just aren't going your way, and on the darts, in the darts especially, that 96, that busting of it, I think you just get to a point where you think, my luck's just not in today.
128.
You could just see, actually, as you say, a bit of reaction, a bit of despondency.
$45. $94.
Palmer on the charge here. 94 when he comes back for a 3-0 lead. Wickenden is going to leave something handy to apply the pressure, and that might make Ricky's mind up about which route he goes here.
123.
ball,
Ricky
could be
Car
treble
94.
Goes bold, goes big.
55.
Doesn't
Chris Car
end well
78.
for Ricky Palmer.
Needs tops.
58.
And
Ricky
again,
Car
just slightly
39.
under, so Palmer back for 39.
Make that 36.
3.
However,
Chris Car
again, it's a
20.
bit like those darts at tops in the previous leg. Really, really close on the top wire, but just not in. And that was probably
Game shot on the
a
third leg.
worse
Chris
start than
Wickenden.
Ricky Palmer threw, but that one hit the double.
Doesn't matter how it's thrown or
Fourth leg, Ricky to throw first. Game
only
on.
important thing is the outcome, and the outcome there is Chris Wickenden has got a leg on the board.
93.
He waited for the final opinion from our expert official Paul Hinks.
I mentioned before, Chris Wickenden
70.
doesn't seem to like to kind of adjust in terms of moving up and down the oche. So I imagine he was just keeping himself firmly planted in case it wasn't actually in. And I can only say that because I tend to
36.
do it myself. Can you just tell me, you know, what's going on up there?
And that man told him what he wanted to hear.
100.
Just a bit more breaking news from darts elsewhere. We have to say congratulations to one of our colleagues here at the MODUS Super Series.
100.
Scott Mitchell, on his Euro Tour debut, has won, beating the X Factor Andy Bolton 6-5 in an opening round in Budapest. So congratulations
100.
to Scotty Dog.
$92.
You mentioned earlier something about debuts this week. Are we going to get a winner on debut at the Super Series? Could it be Ricky Palmer?
64. Ricky Carr 100.
He's definitely putting himself in a good position, at least to qualify for finals week.
Options. He might be looking at the Wickenden score and thinking
60.
basically, do you know
Chris
what?
Carr
I'll just leave top,
167.
so I won't really go for it. I'll just leave it.
It felt like a bit of an indecisive throw, didn't it? Which landed plumb, but 57 here.
The tops for Palmer when he comes back
127. Ricky Carr 40.
for a 3-1 lead. Double 10. He's having a bit of double trouble in this game, Ricky Palmer.
$35. Chris Carr 40.
That's now 14 darts missed at the outer ring in this game.
Game shot on the fourth leg. Chris Wickenden.
That was another double 10 finish, but a bit of a clearer one from
Fifth leg,
Chris
Chris to
Wickenden than
third
the leg
first.
before.
Game on.
You see both players struggling a little bit in that department, but Palmer in particular has passed up ample opportunities, not just to lead
134.
this game, but to be honest, to win this game by now.
Yeah, he's had darts in every leg, hasn't he?
55.
Sometimes when you have a
58.
kind of more, kind of a more emotional character on the stage with the darts, sometimes it can work in your favour, but sometimes, and we saw it certainly with
45.
Ricky earlier, they look like they may implode as opposed to it's channeling that energy and that desire in the right way. And it's easy for me to sit here and say it, but very difficult to do when you're up there.
It must be a horrible position to be in when it's sort of
42.
all in your hands, and you can almost feel it slipping away when you're on the stage, and you know that you just need to calm down, but tell someone to calm down, what happens?
Yeah, they don't normally do
40.
what you ask.
Needs to be Ricky Palmer, doesn't he?
$120.
Well, both players suffering a little bit with the bounce out.
41. Chris Carr
Ricky Palmer
147.
seems to be suffering this fight with himself at the moment.
Well, he knows he's done a lot of the hard work, put himself in the positions, been on those doubles and missed them. So now, as you say, the frustration is creeping him to a point that it may be
95.
taking over.
He's doing that thing as well where he's now watching every dart of his opponent and reacting to those as well. Having painter
55. Chris Carr 52.
Can't believe it when his opponent starts going and his don't, and just getting too sort of involved.
Game shot on the
You
fifth
won't
leg.
like
Chris
that. You can
Wickenden.
just see a little reaction over the shoulder of Pugs there from Ricky Palmer, muttering away to himself. He was in such
Sixth
a
leg,
good
Ricky to
position in
third
this
first.
game,
Game on.
and he led it 2-0. Now he finds himself trailing.
85.
And ironically, if you're the player that's on the other side of that, sometimes it can be a catalyst to kind of spur you on, because you almost think that they're kind of their mindset's not right. Their head's kind of gone out of the match, and it's an internal struggle
55.
that they just plough on and keep winning legs.
Yeah, my eyes are just drawn to Palmer when he stood behind Wickenden, because you could see again then just shaking his head as Wickenden was
134.
throwing it. He only scored 55, so where's the negativity coming from? Still going, still shaking his
95.
head behind his opponent. Might be nodding it in a minute.
98.
Funny, one of the questions that was posed to us last night, Henry and myself, was who would be in your poker team? And watching Ricky at the moment, I don't think he'd be head of my list either.
Yeah, I think he's on tilt. Is that the
85.
term?
$85.
Well, he's not thinking either now. Palmer could have switched, left himself on 100, which would have been a two-darter rather than 99.
96.
Which of
Ricky
course
O'Connor,
can't be done
99.
in two.
$75. Chris O'Connor, 170.
A good last start there from Ricky Palmer, but Wickenden has left himself the big fish. Or I was almost, the way that first start landed was almost perfect there for Chris Wickenden.
132. Ricky O'Connor, 24.
The setup's pretty good anyway, so Palmer is under pressure.
Game
But
shot
he
on the
pins
six
double
leg. Ricky
12.
Palmer.
Big leg of darts this. Remember, this is Chris Wickenden's darting destiny. It would be confirmed that he could not qualify.
Seventh
if
and
he
final
loses
leg.
this
Chris
game.
to throw first. Game on.
But he does have the darts in this decider.
$140.
Yeah, it's a good opening gambit in this deciding leg from Wickenden.
59. $60. $140.
Almost perfect shot from Palmer. The 140 puts him back in contention in this leg as Wickenden finds the treble 20 again and again.
140. $43. Chris O'Connor, 161.
Wickenden just needs to tidy this up. Good second dart, great third dart.
125.
So Chris Wickenden maybe clinging on here, and Ricky Palmer, despite being in the premier position of the pair, just seems to be totally
57.
losing it. And it's Murphy's Law now.
Chris
Anything
O'Connor,
that can
36.
go wrong has gone wrong for Ricky Palmer in this match. And Chris Wickenden can pick up the pieces. Palmer led this match 2-0. But he's
Game
lost
shot
it
on the match. Chris
4-3.
Wickenden.
And Chris Wickenden somehow is still in this fight. A victory for Pugs. Denying Palmer a place at the top of the table. A 4-3 success from 2-0 behind. It wasn't the prettiest performance from either player, but Ricky will rue all those missed darts at double. Now it's over to Alex Small and Shane McGurk to see which one of that pair does go top of the table.
Hey, I'm Gary Ashburn, and I've been working in the world of collectibles and memorabilia for over 30 years. I'd love you to join me every Sunday night at 10 p.m. for Collectibles Guru, where we showcase awesome items from the worlds of sport, music, TV and film. You'll hear the stories behind the genuine signatures and get a front row seat into the world of sport and showbiz. So tune in every Sunday night at 10 p.m. only here on Sporty Stuff TV.
Welcome back. Thanks for joining us for this top of the table tie between Alex Small and Shane McGurk. Both players on 8 points and actually currently in positions 1 and 2 in the Group C table. But Mikuru Suzuki and Ricky Palmer both have the same amount of points. Core Decker and Chris Wickenden just 2 points behind now. Alex Small, the Welshman, former Red Dragon champion of champions, takes on Shane McGurk, who's been to finals night twice before here at the
First leg,
MODUS
Alex,
Super
you through
Series, and
first.
always lost to the eventual winner as
Game
well of
off.
that week, but he's looking to get there again and maybe change his fortunes on Saturday. He's the man currently occupying top spot, 4
60.
legs better off than both Alex Small and Mikuru Suzuki, but on the same points. But whoever wins this one will be the player in pole
139.
position to ensure a spot in the big finale tomorrow.
45.
Really is getting tight at the top of the table. Tight at the top is tight throughout the whole table.
Yeah, we're now in a situation where just 2 points separate the entire field in this group.
59.
Problem is games like this for Core Decker and Chris Wickenden, these games are the problem because it guarantees
100.
a player getting to 10 points, leaving them 4 behind with just, in Chris Wickenden's case, 2 to play.
133.
I'm losing count of how many times 170 has been left today.
Been a few. but
108. Hey, Shane
a few
McGurk,
of those as well.
170.
Great time, 180 there from Alex Small.
134. Alex Ukar, 116. 76. Shane McGurk, 36.
Yeah, good adjustment, but chance here for an early breaker throw for McGurk. Bearing down double 18.
Game shot on the first leg. Shane McGurk.
Yeah, clinical finishing there. See double 18 been left quite a lot for players. I know sometimes you can't odds
Second
it.
leg, Shane to throw
It's
first.
quite
Game on.
popular, but I'm never quite confident on the breakdown because obviously you miss the 18s, you go inside and it becomes a bit dubious when it comes to double 9.
Yeah, nobody likes that.
81.
Good start to this game. A lot of the games have had sort of cagey starts in this group, but
93.
a 14 darter won by McGurk with Small waiting on a double at the time. So this one could really take off.
99.
Managed to sneak one in the treble 20 then, McGurk. Helps him keep the advantage of throw.
94. 100.
Yeah, well, this has been solid so far from McGurk.
140.
He'll still be comfortable in this leg, despite being slightly behind after 9 darts each. He's pretty much kept that advantage of having the darts.
85.
But only leaving 136 is an opening for Small.
46. Shane McGurk, 136.
Another in there. Gives him a go at double 8s.
120. Alex McGurk, 128.
Two in there, gives him a dart, a double 10.
108. Shane McGurk, 16.
Good pace to this match. Being a little bit animated.
Could be a bit awkward. Double 4, both players threatening big finishes
8.
in this
Alex
game. But
McGurk, 20.
Kirk's just missed 4 darts here to double his lead.
Game shot of the second leg. Alex Small.
Yeah, and that's a break straight back for Alex Small.
Third leg, Alex to throw first. Game on.
Yeah, McGurk not impressed there. Did all the right
100.
things to hold his throw and just again, that small opening for Alec. He took it.
Yeah.
140.
4 at double in that leg. Mikuru Suzuki back in action next. She takes on
51.
Decker. And suddenly the league could look very different because whatever happens in this match, a player's going to be on 10 points. But if Mikuru then beats Decker, she's going to
60.
be alongside them, and that'll be completely in her own hands. They'll be chasing her.
60.
You know what's going to happen? It's just going to be one of those matches, isn't it? They're all going to finish on 10 points,
59.
and Chris Wickenden's going to go through.
Yeah, it would be something rather remarkable. We almost had a Group B where everybody finished on the same points. It didn't
44.
quite finish that way, but in the last match, it was Lee Budgin playing Fallon Sherrick, and Budgin going into the game could have only either finished in 2 positions in the group table, and that was top or bottom.
180.
Shane McGurk with a maximum.
100. Shenukar
We've seen him do
62.
this a few times actually this week, and it's been impressive. When he's had a setback, he's bounced back brilliantly. Double 16 would see him do it again.
30. Alec
This
Carr,
might just be a little
146.
annoyance now for McGurk. He's missing clutches of darts at double.
80. Shenukar
Yeah,
32.
as you say, McGurk, 1 from 8 so far. He really does need to pin this, and
Game
he
shot on the
does.
third leg. Shane McGurk.
Oh, we could be having one of those matches. It's who is going to hold their throw?
Fourth leg Shane to throw first.
All
Game
breaks.
on.
Even in a best of 7 format, all breaks a throw is so rare.
$100. $180.
Alex setting himself up for actually another break back.
Yeah, it might well happen.
140. $60.
Because it shows kind of how a player can bounce back after a disappointment. Disappointment of losing a leg on
41.
throw.
Well, we saw the opposite, didn't we, really, with Ricky Palmer in the previous match? He just couldn't get his head right. after
91.
Surrendering that 2-leg lead. Alex Small leaves 170. Death taxes, ETC.
$97. Alec Carr, 170.
Good switch there, but Alec on 170. Not going to go today. The amount they're leaving it, as you say, I think it will
134.
go at
Shane
some
Carr,
point.
123.
And it could be the 4th straight
43.
break. Alex Small
Alec
goes
Carr,
for his
36.
favourite double here. But he hasn't found it. And now an
18.
opportunity for McGurk
Shane
to
Carr,
start to
80.
open up a bit of a buffer in this game. Double 10 for daylight.
60. Alec Carr, 18.
More doubling disappointment for McGurk as Small comes back for double 9, and this
Game
time
shot on the
does
fourth
make
leg.
sure of
Alex
it.
Small.
We are now at 2 apiece.
Fifth leg, Alec to throw first. Game on. $100.
And in some ways, you can draw some parallels between Shane McGurk and Palmer's match the match before, because McGurk has had
100.
darts in every leg.
Yeah, he's had this match really in his grasp, but
100.
there's too many darts at double. It's simple as that. He's still averaging 90 in this game, Shane McGurk, despite missing 9 darts at double.
140.
As Laurie alluded to, that's enough
140.
darts to have actually won the match by now.
121. Out of your car, 161.
Treble 20. And for treble 17.
98. Shane your car, 140.
That's right, at some pace, doesn't he, Alex Small?
Yeah, super speedy. Small. McGurk. Can't really take a chunk out of this, so
50.
we might be about to see what we
Alex
haven't seen in this game,
63.
which is a hold of throw. Double top to get it.
23.
It's over the top.
Shane
It's a
your car,
chance for
90.
McGurk.
Looking at 20s. Treble 20, Woodley, double 5. That leaves the ball. Just
43.
not able to convert.
Out of your car, 40.
So tops. for
Getting shot
Small.
on the fifth leg. Alex Small.
First hold, fifth leg won, and Alex Small is now one leg away from being the outright leader in this group.
Six leg Shane to throw first. Game on.
We've quite often discussed that we know that there will still be changes in the table. Changes in the matches.
60.
Yeah, if Small
140.
goes on to win it, this will be the situation. 10 points at the top for him. McGurk staying in second place, but Mikuru Suzuki with that game in hand.
100.
Ryan Palmer also has 8 points, but he's played 8 matches. We'd have to say this would be really the
95.
first point in this group, and it's taken until the 9th game on a Friday where one player has, I wouldn't say a foot, but maybe a toe in finals
97.
night.
$134.
Good switch, leaves the champagne shot.
$140. Out of your car, 132.
Another one of those. The 17
92.
does leave him
Shane your
tops.
car, 104.
I do like the champagne shot.
Yeah, I sometimes think it looks so nice, but I think as a player, sometimes it's too tempting when you've got the first ball. Could go for a bigger target and go away. Maybe have a better chance of finishing. And Shane McGurk,
84.
whose
Out of
finishing
your car,
hasn't quite
40.
been there in this match, has missed another opportunity to get a leg in the ledger.
Getting shot in the match. Alex Small.
Has taken that small step towards Saturday here at the Super Series. He knows how big a win that could prove to be. A 4-2 victory against Group C rival Shane McGurk, who played well in the game but just missed too many darts at double, 11 in total, and Small made him pay. He is now the man at the top of the table and looking to join him. Mikuru Suzuki, she's in action next against Cordeka.
Meet Rob's Gran Mary. She loves nothing more than a day at the seaside and an ice cream. And Rob, well, he wouldn't miss it for the world. By taking time outs on his account, he's making time for moments that really matter. Winner. Setting it up is simple. Choose from days to weeks at a time or customize it. When you play safe at Bet365.
Welcome back. Mikuru Suzuki in action now, trying to cut Core Decker down to size, and in doing so, to put herself in a provisional qualification spot for finals night here. A victory would see Suzuki join Alex Small on 10 points after Small defeated Shane McGurk in a battle of who were then the two at the top of the table, still are, but a win for Suzuki would change that. Core Decker, though, could put himself in the picture and could join McGurk, Suzuki and Palmer on 8 in this incredibly close Group C.
You could probably cut two more different figures on the Oki. The kind of petite d'amour stature of
First leg corded through
Kira
first.
Suzuki's towered over by Core
Come on.
Decker.
He does seem the gentle giant, doesn't he, Core Decker? But he's going to have to find that killer streak if he's going to turn things around in this group. A win here against Suzuki would
41.
really put him in the picture. But Suzuki and Shane McGurk have to play each other, so defeat for Decker really would be pretty much fatal. Meaning one of those players would get to, well, she'd already be on 10.
81.
McGurk could join her, and he'd have to then be in that situation that Chris Wickenden is, where he could only get to 10.
Decker has won 3 of the
100.
4 meetings this week. Mikuru just winning the one. It's a different day, and there's different kind of pressure on both these players.
$83.
I mean, there's even disparity in their walk-on songs, to be fair, isn't there? I think one's Guns N' Roses and the other one's Baby Shark.
140.
Yeah, maybe they should swap for a tournament.
You see Core Decker walking onto Baby Shark.
100.
Well, we've painted the picture of how big a defeat it would be for Core Decker. It would pretty much put him out of the running, but
60.
how damaging would a defeat for Mikuru be here? Look, she's still going to be tied on 8 points, whatever happens at the end of the game, but with Shane McGurk and Ricky Palmer to play.
Yeah, I don't necessarily think, the end of the world.
81.
It's she's still
Quarter
well within the
car,
mix. But I think the difference
160.
is she'll obviously feel more comfortable with that additional buffer with who she's got left to play. Maybe it will allow her to play with just a little bit more
60.
freedom.
Mikuru car 156.
Well, what she would do in beating Core Decker is sort of eliminate him from that race. If he gets onto 8 points with her, she's already played him, so she can't do anything about what he does. But the other 2 players on 8, she's playing both of them, so it's still in her hands. Of course, they'll feel it's in their hands
100.
as well, but
Quarter
it could
car
be
100.
almost a bonus victory, wouldn't it?
Yeah, very true.
What does Core do here? He's gone for tops.
Game
he's
show in
got
the first
tops.
leg. Kodeka.
And Mikuru Suzuki is waiting there on a simple 56 finish, so
Second leg, Mikuru to
Decker's
throw first.
double.
Game on.
I've seen him take the lead and giving him the advantage in this one.
$125.
Yeah, we talked yesterday as well about Suzuki. Kind of made that really strong start. Peaked around the 92 average.
137.
Tapered off towards the end of the day. I mean, as we've said before, this is day 7 of consecutive darts for her when you include the women's series. You just have to worry. It takes a lot of stamina to keep going up there, keep playing, and a lot of concentration.
$26.
Been talking about with some players how they have these little spells of a couple of legs where they're really on it. I think the problem for Mikuru Suzuki this week is she's had a couple of legs
81.
in a lot of matches where she has suddenly just started spraying the darts all over everywhere. Just twisting something. Was it she got those points that you twist on? Because she seemed to be twisting the bottom of the dart there.
Yeah, she did, didn't she?
60.
It is a more modern thing, isn't it? People, the point always used to be sort of attached to the barrel, but now they're detachable for many players, and I think that's probably what happened there. That the point itself came loose
134.
and she screwed it back on.
Yeah, quite possibly, and they're very handy for travelling purposes more than anything else. I think when you can detach the point, because you can take them in hand luggage on aeroplanes. Other than that, we spend quite a lot of money on hold luggage
100.
for basically
Corner car
one set of darts.
149.
Yeah, the amount of dart
60.
players that seem to lose their luggage as well, it's remarkable.
Yeah, it's got to be the standout one for me. Still has to be Jeff Smith, which is pretty much every time he flies from Canada.
58. Corner car 89.
Decker here looking to double his lead. Probably treble 14. Well, that don't really like it. He's got a target 2.5 times bigger that he could aim at to
25.
get a
The
go.
corner
A
car
double went for the smallest
132.
target on the board.
Yeah, I think 82. When you've got 3 darts in hand, it's different because the 25 and the ball is quite a big target with with both segments. You can do 17 to tops, but as you say, 1 dart you should favour the bigger target.
You probably hear me say this
58.
before, but I actually
Corner
think
car
you've got 2 darts
64.
in hand, and you're on an even finish. You might as well just go for treble 20 to leave any double. It doesn't really matter which one.
It is the target you throw most at.
24. Makuru
Decker
car
hit tops
74.
twice to win the first leg, but he couldn't hit it once to win the second. Makuru looking at 74. He got for treble 14 a lot and ended in 11 a lot today and yesterday. She does get a go at the ball.
26. Corner car 40.
So Decker back here. Break a throw. Would be 2-0 up. Oh, but double 10.
20. Makuru car 48.
So another opportunity here for Makuru Suzuki.
Yeah, it's been a real let-off of a leg, hasn't it, for Suzuki? Or will be if she wins it anyway. Decker disappointed, evidently. Double 16 will add to that disappointment.
16.
She fails to find
Corner
it.
car 20.
Decker having to step across just to try and open up an angle here, but he's expertly
Game
done
shot
that.
on the second leg. Corner car.
And Decker does double his lead. And now he's starting to put himself in the picture in this group.
Third leg quarter through first. Game on.
As you say, a win here for Core Decker, believe it or not, would mean that positions 2, 3, 4 and 5 on the table, all on 8 points, all with 8
43.
games played.
Yeah, and the next game is Chris Wickenden against Alex Small, so there's a chance that it could be positions 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 all on 8 points. Although Wickenden would have played a game more.
100. $41.
I was talking with Matthew Egger yesterday in this group that the general consensus between
60.
the pairers was that someone would go through on 12 points and someone may go out on 12 points. I'm starting to think someone may go through on 10 points.
Chris Wickenden. It's still
57.
mathematically possible.
Well, if it is, then that means that 2 players will go through on that tally. Alex Small's already there.
Yeah, it is tight. Very hard to call still.
41.
Just feel things have gone slightly flat for Suzuki in this
17.
third match of today for her.
Yeah, I think she agrees, Laura. It's a long delay before throwing these darts. She looks a little bit resigned.
81.
Well, they say Mikuru Suzuki's got some kind of,
81.
don't know, some sort of grip attached to her thumbnail, was it?
I can't quite see what it is, unless it's. It almost looks like a tiny bit of white tack, doesn't it?
Yeah.
59.
I'm just wondering if it is some sort of grip wax. Might be totally wrong. You know, we do overanalyze. It could just be chewing gum.
Oh, no.
66. Mikuru car
Never
160.
noticed that before. There you see, and she has been sort of fiddling with it between visits, so I'm assuming that's what the kind of it. Phil Taylor used to have some sort of grip wax in his pocket, didn't he?
60.
Keith Deller, of course, famous for chalk, used to end up all over the dartboard.
Still does sometimes when we see him play.
60. Mikuru car 100.
Can she get a grip in this game? Treble 20. For the double.
Game
And
shot on the
Mikuru
third leg.
Suzuki
Mikuru Suzuki.
Breaks the throw and gets the game back on throw with that lovely 100 checkout.
Fourth leg Mikuru to throw first. Game on.
Second ton checkout of the match. Mikuru going the kind of more conventional way of treble 20 tops. Dodeka got it in the opening leg. 20
45.
tops. It's like a double decker.
45.
News from the European Tour. Mike Dedeker has just beaten Andrew Gilding. Starting Belgian player.
$100.
Seems actually to be a common part of a name in darts, doesn't it? Decker. You've got Mike Dedeker, Jan Decker.
59.
Not forgetting, obviously, poor Decker here in front of us. I know it's resisting the temptation of throwing in double decker at any point.
Yeah. Makes me hungry as well when we do.
100. $86.
Well, he may need a busload of trebles to turn this leg around.
$81.
Good adjustment, but that kind of goes back to what you were saying earlier, Chris, that when Mikuru's been off, she's been actually quite wildly off, which is uncharacteristic of what we've seen from her over the past few months.
100.
But maybe working your way back into this one. Better to have your bad two legs as the first two legs than the last two legs, isn't it?
I mean, that's a near perfect
125.
bullseye. We could kind of say that in the previous two games, you've seen one person dominate in the opening couple of legs, and then it completely flip around.
119.
Could it be the
Mikuru
same
car
here?
50.
Having just hit the bullseye, would she be tempted? You may as well have been.
Yeah. Oh dear. Yeah, 14. She's really struggled to kind of get that level of
18.
14, putting it into the
Mikuru car
11 again.
92.
Options for Decker. Treble 20 would leave double 16. Now, he has... Well, that's probably a relief for Core Decker. I was just going to say, he's probably blocked the ball a bit there. Double 8.
76. Mikuru car 32.
No double 4 Decker, so Suzuki back tie up the match at 2-2.
Is it awkward?
16. Call your car 16.
Double 4, down to double 2. Can get messy here,
Game
but
shot on the fourth leg.
all
Call
cleaned
Decker.
up by Core Decker.
On advantage Decker now.
Fifth leg called through first.
And that prospect of
Game on.
such a close table after 8 games apiece. Alex Small on 10 points at the top of it. He is the man in pole position, but then it would be Shane McGurk, Makuru Suzuki,
57.
Ricky Palmer, and Core Decker, all just 2 points adrift of the league leader. And tied for second place, of course, which also gets you through the finals night.
45.
A nice switch there from Core Decker.
71.
Just struggling to find their scoring boots. I wonder if we can invent them actual scoring boots. Just put them on one day.
Well, I was musing the possibility with
Woman of
Matthew
the
Egedividev
day!
scoring darts and finishing darts, whether we might actually see players change arrows for different sort of targets. But all those were on target for Makuru
60.
Suzuki. The first 180 in this match. Well, it's a match that Core Decker's winning 3-1 despite